What's going on, guys? Orange Keeper here, back with another Destiny video. Last Wednesday, Bungie hosted their second live stream for Age of Triumph, talking about the changes to the weekly rituals. When Age of Triumph kicks off, you will start your adventure with a quest from the speaker. This quest line will take us through all the new changes that Age of Triumph has to offer. There will be 12 steps to this quest, the first one being called Destroy the Darkness, which will have us completing story missions from the new weekly featured story playlist. This quest will also include things like patrols, strikes, and crucible matches. In this update, there has been some changes made to the Eververse kiosk and her inventory. Introducing Treasure of the Ages. In this new box of goodies, you will find all the items from the past treasure boxes, so if you're missing items from the past collection, here's another chance for you to get them. In addition to those older items, there are some new items to collect, such as a set of armor, as well as 3 new shaders and 2 new ships. And what treasure box would be complete without some new weapons ornaments? No Land Beyond, Necrochasm, Vex Mythoclast, Touch of Malice, Dragon's Breath, Lord of Wolves, and Suros Regime are all getting new ornaments. At this time, it appears that each weapon is only getting 1 ornament, but you never know what Bungie has up its sleeve. You can earn up to 3 of these Treasures of the Ages a week through the weekly rituals activities, which I will explain in a bit. The Silver Dust vendor inventory has been expanded and offers you the chance to use Silver Dust to buy specific items that are available randomly in the Treasure of Ages. But not all the items are available in the Silver Dust vendor. You can break down unwanted items from the Treasure of Ages to acquire Silver Dust. Remember, your Eververse purchased items and Silver Dust currency do not carry over to Destiny 2 to use them to fill out your current collections, as Destiny 1 will be available for the foreseeable future. Lord Shaxx now carries 2 weekly bounties for you to complete per character and is also selling a Crucible Arena engram for Silver Dust. Now on to the main focus of the live stream, weekly rituals. Destiny has always had its daily and weekly ritual selection in the director screen. With Age of Triumph, everything will now be on a weekly rotation with some changes and additions to these activities. As before, there is a weekly Crucible match type that will change weekly and will be in conjunction with the new weekly Shaxx bounty. You will be rewarded 1 Treasure of Ages for the first match completion and 10 legendary marks for the first 3 match wins per account per week. New with Age of Triumph is the introduction of the weekly story playlist, which is a playlist of about 10 story missions that will rotate weekly and be based on a theme such as planet missions or DLC missions. This will be a 380 light level heroic activity, with random modifiers that change weekly. This will be similar to the Strike playlist, but with story missions. This activity rewards you with 1 Treasure of Ages for the first story completion and 20 legendary marks per story completion for the first 5, per account per week. Shiva Crisis Heroic Strike playlist remains the same for the most part at a 350 light level, random modifiers that change weekly. You will be rewarded 1 Treasure of Ages for the first strike completion and 10 legendary marks per strike for the first 3 strikes per week per account. Weekly Nightfall strikes will remain relatively the same at 380 light level, with random modifiers that change weekly. Strike scoring is still available, and a new modifier called Daybreak, which adds epic modifier to enemy combatants and increases the rate of recharge for all your abilities, similar to the Mayhem Crucible type, will be added to the list of random modifiers. This activity will reward 1 skeleton key per account and unknown rewards once per week per character. The Daybreaker modifier will only appear once every 4 weeks in the featured weekly Nightfall strike. Starting July 18th through August, the Daybreaker modifier will be active for all the weekly Nightfall strikes for those 6 weeks. We can also expect to have Rainbow Burns make an appearance. For those of you who weren't around for year 1, that's when all 3 elemental burns are active for a Nightfall strike. Also returning from year 1 is the Blue Flames for completing the featured weekly Nightfall. These Blue Flames give you the Nightfall buff, which increases your XP and faction rep games for the rest of the week. And lastly, the weekly featured raid at 390 light level will have all the challenges active when it is featured and will reward raid set gear, Age of Triumph ornaments, and unknown rewards. The featured raid will be rotated weekly. Tomorrow's final live stream will focus on armor and weapons and how it affects the sandbox. Well guys, one more week until we jump into the new update and begin celebrating the past 3 years of Destiny. Well guys, that's it for this video. Check back later this week for the breakdown of the final live stream before the new update goes live. And as always, I'm Orange Keebler, and I've got your 6.